Seahawks, 49ers. A game that was somewhat entertaining. I mean, a little weird, honestly,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
You know,
Every game kind of was like that today.
It was, and I think that's what we just got to get used to in week one. And with lack of preseason, training camp not being the same as it used to be. Teams are a little sloppy. Mistakes are made. A game that the 49ers win 17-13. They outgained Seattle 384 to 230 yards. I think the feeling we both got watching the game was that it felt like the 49ers were the better team, but kind of kept messing things up. Yeah. Missed field goal. Brock Purdy threw 2 bad interceptions, right? They did have the George Kittle injury that I think was a little deflating at one point, but it certainly felt like the 49ers were the better football team, and we know the 49ers got championship merit there, but I was impressed with Brock Purdy. He did make some plays. His interceptions were bonehead. They were that. But again, Brock Purdy did make some plays above and beyond the offense that I think popped out to me. On a day where they didn't run the ball all that well on the road in Seattle, that was a big win for the Niners.
Does that get you a little nervous? You just said Brock Purdy interceptions, not good plays, and then even the touchdown that he had.
I'm not even sure he was throwing to that guy. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's not a high percentage play to roll around and throw the ball up there. Does that get you a little concerned? Because now Kittle's going to be out too. They don't have the weapons as before, where I think it was easy for Purdy to say, whoa, don't do anything crazy. Like Debo's going to get a reverse, or I'm going to throw one in the flats.
It'll all come to me.
Does that get you a little concerned?
I don't think he has a limit in that department, right? His best year, they went to the Super Bowl, and he actually referenced this in the offseason where he just talked about, like, I got to get back to the basics. I missed some of the plays last year that, like, the offense delivered for me, and I was either greedy or tried to do too much or just they weren't slam dunk like they were the year before. And I feel like that was a theme of the offseason, even talking to the 49ers a little bit, right? But, yeah, I don't think that's what we want from him on a consistent basis, right? I think that's the big thing there altogether. 49ers start the game with a 95-yard drive, and that was big. Kittle caps that off with a 5-yard touchdown. And then Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigma, they answer back. We're in a 7-7, 10-7 game. It was kind of close for a while, like we talked about, though. The 49ers were moving the ball, but we're getting nothing out of it. It kind of moved the ball, it seemed like, every day, every drive, somewhat into Seattle territory, and then nothing came of it a few times. But ultimately, they take the lead, and then late in the game on that play you talked about is where he scrambles to the right, he throws the ball to, I want to make sure I get this guy's
Jake Tongus.
Tongus, right. I had to say it on Football Night in America, and I was nervous as hell. First catch ever in his career. That, and then the 49ers defense made some big plays, and, of course, the big play down the stretch.
That's what stuck out to me.
Yeah.
It was the 49ers defense. A lot of talk this offseason about Dre Greenlaw being gone, Hufanga being gone, of, hey, is this core the same? And no, it's not the same. Well, can they still produce? And I thought the defense came out against a Seattle team that, again, they had question marks on offense. No DK Metcalf.
Definitely.
No Lockett. Now you throw in Sam Darnold. But they have some players. They have 2 good backs, and Charbonnet and Murray. So I thought they kind of answered that bell and was like, hey, we're here, we're to play. And I think the other thing for the 49ers that you walk away and you get a little excited about, Ricky Pearsall goes over 100
No doubt.
yards.
Glad you brought that up. 100%.
That's not much out there.
No.
I came into the game thinking, like, all right, Seattle's going to make sure Pearsall isn't a weapon. First you shut down McCaffrey and Kittle, and then I probably want to end up with my best corner matchup on him. And when you look at Woolen and you look at, all of these different guys that they have, I'm like, I kind of like Seattle in these matchups. So I think for San Fran, for all of the question marks that came in, you didn't answer all of them. And I think Brock Purdy's a guy that will be better week in and week out. I think for some of these guys to step up and for them to play well on defense, that has to give them some confidence going in, because I actually had Seattle as a team that I thought could go win this division this year.
I hear you.
I was worried at first.
Right.
So I'm like, the Rams are still. And then all of the Stafford in the back, and is he 100%? I said, you know what? This is Seattle year, Mike McDonald year too. And San Francisco said, hold on, like, we're not done yet. And I thought that was encouraging for them.
Yeah, definitely. A big win. I mean, on the road. You kind of felt like Seattle. I felt a little bit like Green Bay. Like, we're sick of the Niners beating us. We've had enough of that. It's our home opener. You're going to be motivated by that. Their defense in Seattle is real. I don't think we can, we got to say that. They are good. The 49ers never gotten a flow running the game. But I think your point, too. Ricky Pearsall Kittle gets hurt. They rely on McCaffrey more in the passing game. Juwan Jennings going forward, I think, is going to be better because he's just getting back practicing after being missing training camp with the calf strain and all of that. So, yeah, I think within those, that was an encouraging win for the 49ers. But, yeah, with Kittle hurt, they're going to have to rely on Pearsall, Jennings, and McCaffrey even more going forward. They're still physical as hell. They are that. Their defense flies around. They played with the edge today. That's why you love Saleh and Gus Bradley being back there, because I do think they're going to, give some they're first off the inventors of the Seattle 3, and they're creative in how they can change it up. Just little nuances within the coverage to keep people a little honest that way. I think that's going to be big for the 49ers, but either way, big win there.
You nervous? Cooper Kupp, 3 targets, 2 catches for 15 yards. Like, how do they incorporate and get him involved?
He met a big drop on third down that I saw at one point in the third quarter, but I think that's the question I have about Seattle. Because I know we were all expecting the O-line to be better. I got to see it first. I know this was a tough opponent. Who is going to be – if there's holes, we know Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet can run through it. Jackson Smith and Jigma, they're going to feed him the ball. But like, there's going to be games where people are going to take him away. Yeah. Who's going to be the other guy that can take some pressure off the offense? That's kind of what is the big question for me with Seattle going forward. They'll bounce back. We know that. They're still a good football team, but that was a big win for the 49ers on the road. Way to go, Shanahan and John Lynch. Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.